Oh, it's going to be a little rainy this weekend, so taking mom to the movies might be a good idea.
And there are a few that could be right up her alley, beginning with this wine country getaway.
It's an amazing day in wine country.
When was the last time we were all together?
I just want this to feel like a regular vacation. And somewhere in there, I'll just slide into 50. To Rebecca!
Uh-oh. Anytime wine's involved there, looks like fun.
Yes, it does. And joining us to talk about the weekend box office is Carla Renata, a.k.a. the Curvy Critic.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Marla and Bob. It is my pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to talk to you about wine country.
Oh, my God. Okay, so full disclosure, but not really. For one of my milestone birthdays, I flew in a bunch of my girlfriends to LA, and we all drove up the Santa Barbara coast to celebrate my birthday, and shenanigans ensued. The same way they ensue in this movie. When the girls from SNL get together to celebrate one of their friends' 50th birthday, they all drive up to wine country, Napa Valley, and shenanigans ensue. It's just wine and women. It's a great one to sit on the couch with your girlfriends and just kick it, or your mom.
Things happen.
Yeah, I mean, mom would like this.
And that cast is just a fantastic cast.
Yeah, I mean, they feature all the ladies from SNL. We got Maya, we got Amy, we got Tina, we got Paula. They pulled Paula Pels out. I'm like, okay for Paula Pels. They pulled all the, Rachel Dratch is the one who's celebrating the birthday. They pulled them all out, and it is funny. And it's like a television commercial for wine country. Like, everybody's going to try to run and go there, like everyone tried to do that when Sideways came out.
Oh, right, exactly. Well, guess what? My mom actually lives in wine country. She lives up there near Napa, so it'd be perfect for her. She'd be like, this is my life every day.
Oh, so you got a full tank of gas ready to go.
Exactly, exactly. Next on the list.
Yeah, we're talking about Dr. Ruth here, this documentary that's coming out on Hulu.
Yes, Ask Dr. Ruth is coming out on Hulu, and Dr. Ruth was known as the goddess of good sex at 91 years old. She's still known as the goddess of good sex. I kind of love that. It makes me laugh out loud. but Dr. Ruth, is upbeat and energetic and positive and wonderful as she was, this documentary sheds a light on a part of her life that is not so light and fluffy. You know, the Nazis came to her door, snatched her dad out of the house when she was a little girl. She was shipped off to an orphanage in Switzerland, and she never saw her parents again, who were ultimately exterminated in the Nazi camps there. So we learn about her growing up as a child, and they mix it with some animation. Whenever they're talking about her as a child, we see this animated Ruth come up. It's really heartwarming, it's heartbreaking, and you learn something about a woman that we didn't really know anything about Dr. Ruth other than her talking about sex. I mean, she made it cool to talk about sex.
No, it takes a tremendous amount of bravery, really, at that time, you know, when people were talking about everything was taboo when it came to sex.
Absolutely. In the 80s, nobody talked about female sexuality. You know, as far as people knew, women didn't like to have sex until Dr. Ruth came on television and on the radio and said, hey, not only do women like to have sex, they like to have it this way.
Well, she just celebrated, you mentioned her age, 91.
Stop laughing at me, Bob.
For a second.
She just celebrated her 91st birthday, and one of her headlines recently is that, hey, millennials, you need to be having sex more because it's free and it's enjoyable.
Yep, but as long as they do it safe. At one point, she actually got arrested for talking about sex. Can you imagine?
No.
Getting arrested just for talking about, well, you know, she would say some words that I probably can't say here, but she would say them very freely and very openly, and people would have a nervous breakdown every time she opened her mouth. There's a whole montage in the documentary of her sitting on different people's talk shows like Arsenio, Conan O'Brien, and even with Downtown Julie Brown, where they're just like, oh my God, why is she talking about that? They're just embarrassed.
Even they're getting embarrassed.
Yes, yes. All right, lastly, POMS. I love Diane Keaton.
Okay. I kind of love Diane Keaton too. Like, I would go see Diane Keaton play a paper bag. I wouldn't care what she was in. I love Diane Keaton.
Because you know what? She would play an awesome paper bag.
She would. She would wear it out. She might even get an Oscar nomination for that bad boy. But in POMS, we're dealing with a Diane Keaton who is at the end of her life. She knows she's dying, and she wants to die on her own terms. So she goes to this retirement community, and it is dull. People have their little, you know, cliques and their little doldrum life that they're living, and she rolls up in there and she decides that she wants to start a cheerleading squad for the retirement community.
Oh my goodness.
And again, shenanigans ensue.
Okay, so we're gonna laugh and we're gonna cry.
You're gonna laugh and you're gonna cry. It's really heartwarming, but what it really does is it sheds a light on how you can take control of your life if you know ahead of time that you're gonna check out. It gives you the opportunity to go out on your own terms and not terms that are being set for you. It also sheds a light on even if you're older, it doesn't mean you gotta like shrivel up in a corner and watch TV with a blanket up over your head. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like live your life, be
Right.
exuberant, live it until the last breath is taken.
That cliche that age
Yes.
is just a number, but really you're the same
True.
person when you're that age than you are when you
Absolutely.
were basically born. right?
Absolutely, and we got Pam Grier up in there, we got Jackie Weaver up in there, we got Phyllis Somerville in there, we got some heavy hitters in this
Oh,
film.
good.
Yeah.
A full entertaining cast.
Full entertaining cast. It
All
is
right.
pure comedy.
Well, you are very entertaining. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
And if people want to find out more about you, thecurvycritic.com, right?
The CurvyFilmCritic.com and across all social media platforms at The Curvy Critic.
All right.
we
Carla
got it.
Renata, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We'll be right back with Top Property.